Hello, my name is Curtis Rhoadamer with New Hope Baptist Church. I've been the senior pastor there now for 8 years. I grew up in Colorado, a little tiny town called Roggen, Colorado, and became a Christian probably between ages of 3 and 4. Not exactly sure when. That is kind of just a small portion of my testimony story that doesn't really fit with the rest of my life. In 91, my father, who worked for a gas processing facility, was burned 40% of his body, and I spent the next year learning how to walk again. And I spent the next year learning how to be an adult. I was 13 years old, and God was really working on me in that time. I needed to grow up a lot. And that next summer, June of 1982, I had been working at being at a camp and working at a camp in our area called Homestead Bible Camp, and working with my mentor, Bob Corthius. And God at camp that summer made it very evident that I needed to put a line in the sand. So sitting around the campfire one night there in June, I felt that tug on my heartstring, and God called me to rededicate my life to the Lord. It wasn't barely out of my mouth that I said, yes, I'll rededicate my life to the Lord. That God also said, I want more. I want everything. I want your whole life. And so I was prompted at that point to be in full-time ministry. Took me 10 years to get there. I was 13 when I first made that decision, and so it was in my early 20s that I was able to get there. In between, I went to school at Trinity International University in 1996, failed out 2 years later. Not sure what God was doing. Didn't understand why God would allow me to fail out of school. But I know now a little bit more. God has been orchestrating my life to his ends and not mine. I was able to go back to school at the prompting of my wife, who I married in 2005, and get my degree. I went from academic probation to the dean's list because God had changed my trajectory. I was doing full-time ministry in Colorado at the time, and then God called me to full-time. That was camping ministry out there, and then God was calling me into church ministry. We moved from Colorado, small town Colorado, to small town Indiana in 2013. Took a position as a youth pastor at a small church, and didn't go as well as I would have liked it to. And then this guy named Tim Hewitt called and asked if I would come and serve at a church here in Gas City, Indiana. And Tim made a big impression upon me as another mentor, as a father figure, as a friend. And I got a chance to serve underneath him for youth pastor for a year and a half. And then Tim decided to retire and asked if I wanted to take over. I had no desire to be a senior pastor. And yet God called me to change that trajectory once again. And now I've been able to be a senior pastor at New Hope Baptist Church for the last 8 years. And it's been good. It's not something that I ever desired necessarily, but God has been changing my life. My wife and I are both serving in ministry, continue to serve, continue to love being with people, love the people of New Hope Baptist Church, love the chance that we have to continue to bring the gospel to hurting people. And I thank you so much for that. I thank him so much for the opportunity to do exactly that.